Hello, my name is Samuel Bates, and this is XP 3001 Jath, and this is my game overview video. And before we begin, I'm just going to go a brief overview of what Jath is. Jath is a third-person platformer based off the fable of Tortoise and the Hare, where you play as the hare and you need to team up with the tortoise to help get home. And on your way of getting home, you're going to pick up these various collectibles, which are eggs. And so the brief I decided to follow, it was the springtime brief. So first thing is that it's set during springtime, so this is set in a forest environment, and so there's some rivers and things going through as well. And that big orange thing over there is a big tree trunk. And the second thing about spring is that spring is also another word for like when you spring, so you're bouncing. And so in this game there's a lot of jumping like that. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the core mechanics. The first thing was that you can move around, you can also jump, and you can also sprint. Another core mechanic is combining sprinting and jumping, and you can sprint jump. And now this will be used especially in this section and various other sections where you use a combination of single jumps and these long jumps. Another core mechanic is the tortoise. Now the tortoise is a bit interesting, and so when you have the tortoise, you can no longer sprint or long jump. You can only do single jumps and just walk around normally. You can, however, use the tortoise to throw at a button. Now this button is some sort of food that the tortoise wants to go to, and that will lead the tortoise onto this thing to lower down the door. Throughout the game we also have lots of these lettuce doors. Now the player can go up to these lettuce doors, but they are informed that the tortoise can eat them. So what they have to do is they have to bring the tortoise to the lettuce door, and then he will eat the door instead. What this means is that it constantly forces the player will have to keep on using this tortoise, and it makes the player sort of that in combination with the collectibles, that slow and steady wins the race. So when you have the tortoise you're quite slow, but then without it you're really quick, but you need to use a tortoise. Another important mechanic for the hare is wall run. So you can wall run, and also you can jump off onto the other wall as well using your wall run. Just shove that. Now when you hold the tortoise, you can no longer wall run whatsoever. The next thing I wanted to showcase was the collectibles and your score. In the top right you have your collectible count, that's your value of eggs you have. In the top you have your timer, and in the top right in the blue you have your splashes. So each time you fall into the water you don't die, but it's called a splash, and basically you splash into the water. And at the end of the game, when we do scoring, you will take your collectible number and then minus the timesing of your time and your splashes together. This does mean if you get 0 splashes, then you won't get anything deducted from your final score. It also really encourages both to be quick as well, because the quicker you are, the less your score is taken away, and also the more but then on the flip side, if you go out and seek after more collectibles, even though it might take a little bit longer, you might actually have more points at the end of the game. Final thing I wanted to showcase was when we do puzzles. So when you do a puzzle, for this instance is a puzzle, the player cannot wall run across, because if they wall run they'll get hit by the water, and they can't wall run with the tortoise. But there is a barricade there, so the player would have to do is they have to throw the tortoise across, which will then lower the barricade, releasing the waterfall, and then the player can safely get across. Because normally the player can't get across using sprint jump. Anyway. Something else about collectibles is that there are lots of these gold collectibles around, and the gold collectibles are worth the most. However, the gold collectibles are in more perilous places around the map. The levels of collectibles is red is the lowest, then green, then blue, then purple, then silver, and gold is the most. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.